I'm going to scroll in a little bit so I can give you a better idea of what these colors mean. So your orange, which you can see right there, that's your floodway. These areas you cannot build in no matter what. It does not matter what you want to do. Unfortunately, staff's hands are going to be tied. You just cannot build in the floodway. Then you have your bluer area, this dark blue, and I'll pull up your drop-down box. This is your AE zone, or your 0.2% chance of a flood. You can build in this area, however, you either need to build 1 foot above base flood elevation, and then that's when it gets kind of difficult because we do not have the base flood elevation for many areas in the county. So if you want to build in this blue area, it's going to require hiring an engineer or a surveyor because you got to get that base flood elevation. As soon as you got that, you can either build 1 foot above, or you can build at base flood elevation, but you get a flood proof your structure. So those are kind of like your two main districts. So your AE and your A zone are both viewed the same way, and then your orange is your floodway. So right now we're currently in our 2007 flood maps, as well as our ordinance. That was the last time it was updated. And so the way this comes about, back in the springtime of this year, staff sent out mailers to all 4,000 residents. And that's when FEMA came and they did all their studies and they came up with the new maps, and they presented those maps to the public. We advertised that. And then if the public wanted to, if they had discrepancies with what FEMA was provided, they could appeal those maps. So that period happened and the county received no appeals from the FEMA maps. So then comes the hard part. We have to work with DCR in order to get our ordinance. It adopts our new maps. So we scroll back over to the map, going to be our new maps here. And so as you can see on this one, the floodway is actually getting bigger. If we go down to Monacan Park, if I can find it quickly. Should be it. Yep. Monacan Park is actually getting better for these residents. The floodway is actually shrunk, so people down on this area may actually now be able to build a house on some of these lands and build some accessory structures. So this is just an example for where the floodway has changed and the AE zone has gotten bigger. And so that's one change, is the new maps, and it gives us the new date in our ordinance. We're also defining what an accessory building is. We just took that from our zoning ordinance as well. Now it must go through our public hearing process and then be sent to FEMA by February 14th for approval to ensure all of our county residents keep their flood insurance.